Hey again, this is Andy from potatoesandpearls.com, and in this video I am going to be showing you my steps to, I don't want to say upgrading, but giving my kitchen a fresh makeover. I've been living in my house for about 5 years, and I got my kitchen remodeled about 3 years ago. I have a Ikea kitchen. Someone came into my house, they measured my kitchen, I told them what I wanted, and they helped me pick out what will work best for my kitchen. If you're looking for a kitchen remodel, I do recommend Ikea. And so the walls have kind of been blank, the decor has kind of been blank in there, so I'm deciding to spruce it up a bit, which calls for some paint and some creative ideas. So in this video, and I'll put some timestamps below, I am going to give a tour of my Ikea kitchen in real life. I feel like people see them on TVs, or you go in the showrooms and look at Ikea kitchens and they look totally different than what you have at home, like in a real house on a real budget. So I will give a tour of what my Ikea galley kitchen looks like. I will show you what I did to spruce it up, and I will show you the final result. So if you are into that, stick around and we're gonna get into it right after this. So first we're gonna start off with a tour of my Ikea galley kitchen. The galley kitchen, it has some shelving and some drawers on one side, and it has some more shelving, drawers, my stove, my refrigerator on the other side. The door in the back is the back door that leads to my backyard, and we are going to start right at the pantry. This pantry door I am going to paint. As you can see, I was testing some colors. It's normally not like that. And this is where all of my dry goods are. It's a pretty good sized pantry. I normally keep about 2 cases of water in here, and I like it. I did add some lights up at the top, some pressed lights, because it does get kind of dark. This is just a decorative plate I got from Disney World. My kitchen has a slight French theme, so I thought that went perfectly. When I talked to Ikea, I didn't want to get a microwave over the stove, so I had them put the microwave into this kind of cabinetry thing, so they were able to make a space for it. I just opened up the bottom drawer where I keep my lunch boxes and my bread maker, and this is a giant, I guess you would also consider this a pantry as well, but it has a lot of my kitchen gadgets, blenders, meat grinders, my tabletop blender, cups, some of my my spiralizer, my Brita filters. I just keep that all in there, so that's just all kitchen gadget storage. Instead of getting a dishwasher, I actually wanted a desk in my kitchen. I spend a lot of time in here, so I wanted a place to sit down. So they were able to accommodate that space with a desk. That chair came from Ikea. Those storage containers up top also came from Ikea. I am going to paint those kind of to go with the theme. And so on top of this countertop, I keep my soda stream, I keep my tablet, I just keep little stuff there. And there's another sign because it's a French theme. My trash can is over here behind the door. To maximize on space, there wasn't really a dedicated space for my trash can, so it is fine just behind the door. I'm still able to get in and out of the kitchen easily. Over here is my stove. I already had a chalkboard wall painted, but I'm going to expand that. And there's cabinetry above the stove. That's just like some party supplies and some baking dishes that I keep up there. And then as you could see, I have my main utensils directly over the stove, and I made some brownies before I filmed this video, and they're just cooling on the stove. And this is my main countertop area. I keep my flour and my sugar out. I have my knife set, my drying rack, and these drawers are really deep. Throughout the entire kitchen, there's nothing but drawers except for the one cabinet under the sink. As you can see, this one holds all of my pots and pans, so it's really, really deep. There's even a fondue set down there. I have my black sink. As soon as I saw this sink, I knew that I had to have it, so here it is. The piece comes out of the faucet, so I can move that around a little bit. And as you can see, there were some more drawers down there as well that just has a bunch of kitchen tools in it, and like my egg cooker and my Ninja chopper. Up top, I have more cabinets with more kitchen gadgets in it. As you can see, my Instant Pot is on top of the refrigerator, and that is a cabinet I specified. I wanted a like nice fancy cabinet that I keep glassware that I barely use in there with a light. And I'm just showing you the inside of these cabinets: Tupperware, cups, more aluminum dishes, and that is the full kitchen. The first thing I'm going to do is paint the chalkboard wall. I'm using the Rust-Oleum chalkboard paint. It's one of my favorite chalkboard paints. It goes on really, really smooth, and it works really, really well. So as you can see, I'm just taping off the area I'm going to do. I'm not doing that big of a wall. It's just right by the stove where I like to write out, like if I'm having people over for dinner or Thanksgiving or Christmas, I normally write on the wall. As you can see, it looks like I have something left over from when some friends were over before, and I wrote down what I was making. So I'm just going to paint the area, and because I used the same type of paint before, it just blends in really, really well, especially by the stove where grease and stuff can get. I just really like this paint because it's easy to clean off. It's easy to get the chalk off. You can see I wiped away the other chalk, and you're not really seeing like a bunch of residue. So I have sped up into the future a little bit, and I'm painting the area, and it didn't really take me that long, and it actually dried really fast. This was dry within the first day of me doing this. So day 2, I started painting the back wall to my countertop. I always wanted a backsplash, but I didn't want to put up tile or anything like that. So I decided to paint the wall gray, and in a few little bit you're gonna see what type of pattern I chose to do on the wall. This paint was I believe, I can't remember. I'll put down in the description what kind of paint this was, but it was from Lowe's. So it was one of Lowe's, oh, I remember, it's the HGTV home paint. And as you can see, it came out really nice. There's a chalkboard wall, and you can see that the gray came out really, really nice. It is high gloss just because of the pattern that I'm going to do on the wall. I wanted it to be high gloss and shiny and pretty. So I am going to use this tape. It's a delicate painter's tape, so I'm putting it over top of the gray on the wall, and so I don't want it to pull off the paint. I did let the gray dry for a few hours, so it may not be totally dry, so that's why I wanted to use a delicate paint so I'm not ripping off what I just did. And so what I'm doing is I want to make a kind of like triangle-y shapes on the wall. So I'm just kind of freestyling this, and I'm just putting tape in random lines. And then what I did was I got rose gold paint. This came from the craft store. It is really hard to find rose gold paint in an actual hardware store. And I am painting the rose gold over top of the gray. So as you can see, the rose gold is covering the entirety of the tape. It's covering the gray, and when I pull the tape off, It's going to reveal the patterns, the triangular patterns, but they're going to be with gray lines. While I let the rose gold paint dry down a little bit, I did work on some other projects. I got these shelves from Five Below for $5 each, and one of them will be going up on the wall as a spice rack. And I got this from Home Goods for about $10. This is also going to be used as a spice rack. And I went outside and I painted some of my storage containers and the lids to my sugar and flour rose gold with spray paint. And as you can see, I hung up the rack I got from Five Below, and I put some of my heavily used spices there. It's like a metal line, like a metal frame with the wood, so it went really well with the chalkboard outline or the chalkboard paint. And the gray paint has dried, the rose gold paint dried, and once it dried, I was able to pull off all of the tape, and you can see the pattern that I was talking about. So there's gray lines throughout on that rose gold background, even though the rose gold was painted on top of the gray. I wanted something different and unique instead of having tiles like everybody else. So now that I have completed my, I guess you would call it a little vanity upgrade of my kitchen, you can see that I painted my pantry door. I did paint chalkboard paint in the top square so I could write on it or draw things for holidays. One time somebody asked me, was it a bathroom? So now you know it's not a bathroom, it's a pantry. And I did paint the doorknob handle rose gold. I really like how this came out. It flows with my counters and my cabinets. And then you can see I painted those rose gold, and they came out really, really nice. Instead of the boring black that was up there, they now kind of go with the other pretty aesthetics of the rest of the kitchen. So I left my back door white just because it's white, and there's my cat Giselle just living her best life. And over here I showed you my spices, I showed you my backdrop, but now everything's up and my other spice rack is put together. So those are my second most used spices, and I keep those there so they're within reach, and it freed up a lot of cabinet space up above. I hope you guys liked this video. I'm thinking about posting one for my dining room as well. I'm planning on reupholstering the dining room chairs and putting down some new carpet and some new furniture. So if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, also let me know down in the comments below. I'm tired of the decor in my house, so if you all are interested in seeing other rooms of the house and how I decorate them, let me know. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you are interested in food videos, home videos, kitchen gadget videos, anything like that, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.